Hello everyone. Today I brought the story of Elisha that cursed 42 young children, and two bears came out from nowhere and ate them up. You will find this story in Second King chapter 2. But before I proceed, I want to ask you, do you know that apart from Jesus Christ that died, and the Bible told us that he resurrected after 3 days and then ascended to heaven, do you know that Elijah was taken up to heaven without dying? Do you also remember that Lazarus died and was resurrected, and he continued living his normal life, and we didn't get to know how much longer he lived again before he died? Do you also know that Mary, the mother of Jesus Christ, was said to have died and her body taken up to heaven? This particular story also revealed the fact that not only Moses once divided a sea for the people of Israel to pass, that Elijah also divided the Jordan River and he crossed with Elisha. Do you also know that Elisha performed the same miracle on his way back after Elisha had been taken up to heaven? He also struck the Jordan River and it divided into two, and the people around saw and testified to this. This is not even the story of the day, but the fact that Elijah was the one that tutored Elisha and promised to give him double portion of his power if only he will stick with him till the moment he will be taken up to heaven. But along the line, Elijah kept discouraging Elisha from sticking with him till the end of time. I could remember that at Bethel, Elijah told Elisha to follow him no more. First of all, the people of Bethel even gossiped to Elisha that his master Elijah was going to be taken away from him that day. I don't know how they got to know. Then they got to Jericho. Elijah was still trying to dissuade Elisha from sticking with him. And again, the prophets in Jericho also gossiped to Elisha again that his master will be taken away from him today. I hope he was aware. I still don't know how these prophets in Jericho came to know about this. They got to Jordan. The same thing happened. City of Jordan. Elijah was still telling Elisha to stop following him. I don't know why he was doing that. Again, the prophets in that city of Jordan still came out and told Elisha that his master will be taken away from him that day. I hope he knows. And he usually will tell them to keep quiet, that he knows. Now, I think they were going to where Elijah knew he would be transcended, or where he knew the people would not, disturb them. So they got to Jordan, got to the river of Jordan, divided into two and passed to cross to the other side. So that was where they were, and then they saw chariots of fire and horses of fire and whatever, and then Elijah, with no ceremony, was taken away from Elisha. Elisha hold on to his clothes, and blah blah blah. The rest of the story. So he returned. He returned back to Bethel. So, but on his way, while he was returning, he had passed Jordan, passed Jericho, gotten to Bethel. That was where he met these young children. If it were in recent time, I would say maybe they were coming back from school or something like that. So he met them on the way and they started calling him Baldi, Baldi. We know that the pictures of Elisha that we have seen were depicted with no hair, at the center here. He had bald hair. The children were calling him Baldy, Baldy, and he got annoyed. Of course, frustrated from the fact that his master had disappeared, had gone away from him, he now transferred the frustration on the kids. What struck me about what he did was that Elisha cursed the children in the name of the Lord. It's not okay for children to insult adults, but I am just imagining if that scenario is playing out this year, this period, how would people react to this? You were passing and children were making mockery of you, and you turned around and performed a magic that resulted in wild animals, maybe two lions running out from the bush and tearing these children apart. How would people react to this? Would you go scot free? Is there anyhow you can prove that you did it in the name of the Lord? And what Lord? You know, these children didn't touch you, you were not harmed, but you ended their lives. And to imagine that only two bears ate up 42 children made this story to sound very unclear. And to think that only two bears teared up 42 young boys also made this story not to be very clear. But who stayed behind to count how many children they were? That's one. And what happened to Elisha in Bethel after he did this? Because I'm sure he doesn't live in Bethel, he was only passing by. The Bible said that he went to Mount Carmel and from there he returned to Samaria. Did he go scot free after this happened? Did they not charge Elisha to court? How did the media carry the news? What was it about? How did the story end? These children were coming from where or going to where? Whose children are they? And what moral story did we get from this? That we shouldn't insult adults, or that we should curse in the name of the Lord, or that we should be heartless. I don't know what you guys think about this story, but whatever it is you made out of it that you think I didn't do, please comment your opinion on the comment section. And do remember that I share these controversial stories from the Bible just to draw the attention of religious leaders to the fact that some of these stories, when read and digested by lay people, sometimes it doesn't go down well. It gets stuck on our neck and we don't make anything out of it. And if they too are not trained in the interpretation of the Bible stories, they usually end up avoiding these stories or even end up twisting it in a way that it loses its meaning entirely. And we keep struggling to understand the messages of the Bible. And at the end of the day, most of us are getting confused and equally losing our faith. So, my name is Vivian, and I hope to see you on the next one.